Hello everyone. So we are discussing a lecture series on apoptosis. We have talked about why apoptosis is necessary. We have talked about there are mainly two pathways which involved the apoptotic process. One is intrinsic and other is extrinsic. We have discussed in detail about extrinsic. Today we will discuss intrinsic pathway. Okay, so we are discussing intrinsic pathway. So when we are talking about intrinsic pathway of apoptosis, we have to understand there is a main player in this process. Now what is the main player? We all are very familiar with the cell organelle, this cell organelle, the main player of this apoptosis, that is, you may recognize with the picture. Okay. Now normally we have talked a lot good stuff about this or cell organelles because it helps our life. It is powerhouse of our cell and whatnot. But today one component of this cell organelle will be a problematic component because that component will trigger the apoptotic process. Okay, now we know what is this organelle called. This is mitochondria, and we all know that mitochondria has this outer membrane. This is inner membrane. This convolution are called cristae, and we all know that this inner membrane of mitochondria generally harbors the enzymes of electron transport chain. Correct. So there is one specific molecule which is very important when we talk about apoptotic process, specifically intrinsic apoptotic process. That molecule is cytochrome C. So we have this molecule. Okay, now see this molecule. This molecule is cytochrome C. Okay, now why this cytochrome C we are discussing in detail? Why we are talking about cytochrome C? Because now normally where is this cytochrome C? You can see cytochrome C is in, now if I talk about mitochondria, this is inner membrane, this is outer membrane, and this space is intermembranous space. Okay, and in this space we are talking about, in this space we have cytochrome C. So if the cytochrome C is inside the mitochondria, we are happy about it. We love cytochrome C to be in the mitochondria because it serves lots of purposes. It helps us to derive energy from glucose. Lots and lots of ATPs we get from mitochondria. So very important process happens in mitochondria in which cytochrome C plays a very important role. Now when cytochrome C comes outside the mitochondria, it causes the problem. Okay, actually this cytochrome C, it likes to be in the mitochondria. It's happy in the mitochondria. Even we are happy if the cytochrome is in its own house. But when cytochrome C comes out of the mitochondria, even cytochrome C is not very happy. Even we are not very happy. Why? Because this cytochrome C will cause problem, because this cytochrome C will initiate the process of apoptosis. As it's happening inside of the cell, okay, the trigger is from inside of the cell. That's why we call it intrinsic process. Okay, this is the intrinsic pathway of mitochondria. Okay. So when we talk about this intrinsic pathway, we have understood that cytochrome C has some role. We will discuss what role it has in apoptosis process. Then we will go to the next story. Now we all know that okay, let's say this is a balance of life. Okay, so you might have seen in cartoon, you might have seen in many movies, there is one with horns. The devil comes and speak to us. Okay, there is one good guy with an angel with that ring which the guy comes or girl comes and he speak. Normally devils talk a little bit bad about something to do or to not to do, and if angel talks something which we have to do or not to do, something like that happens. Okay, so there are two sets of gene. Okay, there are two sets of gene. One gene Okay, this is one gene. This is the angel gene. What is this? Is the angel gene. Will have nice. This is the angel gene. Okay, if this gene is expressed, if this set of genes are expressed, our cell will live, because it's angel gene. It is pro-life. It likes life. Okay, so when these genes are expressed in high quantity, when they are in high concentration, what will happen? The cell survives. Okay, so this is pro-life gene. When we talk about the other kind of genes, these are naughty genes. Why? Because if these genes are expressed, okay, if these genes are expressed, if these proteins are expressed, what will happen? The cell will go under apoptosis. So this is pro-death. Okay, these genes are pro-death. They like death. If these genes are expressed, if these proteins are in high concentration in the cell, what will happen? The cell will commit suicide. The cell will go under apoptosis. Similarly, if these genes are expressed, if these genes are protein, then the cell will survive. It will not go in apoptosis. That's why it is pro-life, or you can call it anti-apoptotic or anti-death. Okay, like this, these genes are these genes are anti-life, or you can call it pro-apoptotic genes. So these sets are, this is anti-apoptotic, and these are pro-apoptotic. I will give an example of these genes. Don't worry about this. Okay, we'll talk about the examples of these genes. We will talk about which genes are necessary, which genes are there, which genes are categorized in anti-apoptotic and pro-apoptosis genes. Don't worry about that. We'll discuss in detail. Okay, so you understood the this concept. The concept is, if a cell has a high concentration of this set of genes, okay, anti-apoptotic gene, then cell will survive. Cell will not die. If the cell has high concentration of this set of genes, cell will die, cell will commit suicide, okay, and it will not live. So the balance of these two sets of genes, the balance of these two sets of proteins, okay, it decides the lifespan, or decides whether the cell is surviving or dying, okay, in long run. Okay, and always this balancing is being checked. Okay, if the cell is, let's say if the cell is dividing constantly, or the cell has long amount of life, for example, let's say your neuronal cells, okay, their lifespan is high. What do you think, which genes will be more activated, or what do you think, which protein concentration will be more if you talk about a neuronal cells? Okay, if you talk about these cells, of course, in neuron, where the lifespan is high, where the lifespan is more, it lives for longer amount of time, then no doubt these genes, this set of genes, anti-apoptotic genes or anti-apoptotic proteins, will be in high concentration, and anti-apoptotic gene will be expressed a lot, and pro-apoptotic gene will be expressed less, and the concentration of pro-apoptotic protein will be less. Okay, similarly, if we look for a cell, let's say it dies within some days. Okay, it dies within some days. Let's say your gut lining, or your your skin cells, okay, which has a very short lifespan. Then in those genes, which protein do you think, or which set of genes do you think will be expressed a lot? Of course, in those cells, pro-apoptotic genes will be expressed a lot. The pro-apoptotic gene concentration will be high, and anti-apoptotic gene will be expressed less, and anti-apoptotic gene protein will be in less concentration. Okay, so I hope this concept is clear to you guys. Okay, now we'll see what I am talking about, this pro-apoptotic and anti-apoptotic gene. We will see this. Okay, now when we talk about this apoptotic gene altogether, Okay, we have this category. Now normally what happens is, there is this gene, okay, there is this gene, okay, this is our gene, okay. Now this is pro-apoptotic gene, it likes to kill the cell. But normally what happens, your anti-apoptotic gene, which is pro-life gene, it kinds of inhibit this gene. That's why this gene cannot work. This is always sleeping, this is always inhibited, okay, because our pro-life gene, our anti-apoptotic gene, our pro-life gene is inhibiting pro-apoptotic gene. Are you understanding this concept, what I am saying? Normally this gene is there, this protein is there, okay, pro-apoptotic protein is there, this cell wants to this protein wants to kill the cell, it will commit suicide, the cell will commit suicide if this is active, but this is inhibited because of this protein, okay. So what we do if we want apoptosis, because in the first lecture we have, or in the first discussion we have seen that apoptosis is a very important process, correct? How do we ask cell to commit an apoptosis, or how cell commits an apoptosis if this cell is continuously inhibiting this cell? Very simple, we need to inhibit this. So there are some other guys, his friends, what his friends will do, okay, these friends will inhibit anti-apoptotic gene, pro-life gene, and because if this is inhibited, this guy cannot inhibit our pro-apoptotic gene, and this will be active and our cell will commit suicide, okay. You understood this concept, okay? So this is exactly what happens, okay. Now we will see which genes are those, we will see what we are talking about, okay, we will see that thing. So if you understood that, if you understood this concept, now it will be very easy for us to understand. Let's go here, okay. Here we know we have cytochrome C, which is normally, okay, which is normally inside the cell, inside the mitochondria, happy, okay. There is a passage for him to come outside. Now this passage, we'll see this passage, this is our protein, okay, this is protein, and this is another protein, okay. These are two proteins which we are talking about. These are two fairly little bit different types of protein, but what they do, when they are free, okay, when they are free, they come together, they will come together and they will form a channel, they will form a channel, and this channel is very important for cytochrome C to get out. Is it clear? What this two protein does, this two proteins, okay, these two proteins, I will tell you name of these genes, okay, I will tell you the name of this protein. This protein is BAX, this protein is BAC, okay. When BAX and BAC are free, okay, when BAX and BAC are free, what they do, they will form a channel, and this channel will allow cytochrome C to go out from the intermembranous space of mitochondria into the cytoplasm, and we have discussed that cytochrome C will initiate the process of apoptosis, okay. Now of course BAX and BAC are the genes, okay, these are the genes which belongs to which family, pro-apoptotic or anti-apoptotic. If you are saying it is anti-apoptotic, congratulations, you are absolutely wrong, okay, because these two genes, because of these two proteins, cell will commit suicide, so it is pro-death, it is pro-apoptotic protein, okay. Now but normally what happens, let's say in neuronal cells, if we talk about, let's say neuron cells if we talk about. These proteins are inhibited. Actually what happen is your backs hai yahan pe, this is your backs, okay, this is your backs and this is your back, okay. There is one more protein which makes complex with this, he's happy, okay, and now this is okay. Backs do not mind. He can make complex with other backs. He can make a complex with back. But the problem with backs is, if backs is making complex with this blue color protein, it cannot make channel. Okay, that means in a kind your blue color ka protein is inhibiting backs protein to make a channel. Okay, and this blue protein को हम लोग बोलेंगे, the name of this gene or the name of the protein is BCL2. Okay, so you can answer now, what is BCL2 protein like? BCL2 belongs to this category or this category? Okay, of course BCL2 belongs to anti-apoptotic gene, because it is inhibiting backs, so that cytochrome C cannot go outside and start the apoptotic process. Okay, as we have discussed earlier. So this is what normally happens. Then suppose this is the normal circumstances. Suppose you need to start the apoptotic process. There is a need of apoptosis now. We have discussed why apoptosis is important. Suppose there is need of the apoptosis in this cell, but because of BCL2 protein, it cannot perform, because BCL2 is inhibiting BAX. And if BX is inhibited, BAX cannot form aggregate with BAK and form channel, so that cytochrome C will come out. So there is another friend of BAX, and he is very bad. What bad does? Bad form friendship. Bad forms an aggregate with BCL2. Okay, another bad protein. Okay, so now what will happen? This is bad protein, okay, he is very smart. He wants to help his friend BX BAK. So what he will do? He will find a complex with BCL2, and BCL2 is happy with BAD also. And if BAD is there, BCL2 will be attracted to BAD, bad boy, okay, bad protein. So it will not be aggregated with BAX. And if BAX is free, we all know what will happen. If BAX is free, BX will form complex with BAK, or BX can also form a complex with BAX also, and it can form a channel, and cytochrome C will come out. Okay, so we are understanding these things, correct? Okay, so first, normally we know BAX and BAK can form aggregate, can form a channel, so that cytochrome C can come from inner membrane space to outer membrane space, from the membranous space to the cytoplasm, and it can perform apoptosis. Okay, BCL2, which is an anti-apoptotic protein, it will inhibit BAX, it will form aggregate with BAX, so that BAX will not be aggregated with BAK and form a channel, so cytochrome C will not leave the mitochondria. BAD protein, if the cell has to go in apoptosis, BAD protein, what BAD protein will do? BAD protein will form an aggregate with BCL2 protein, and if BCL2 protein is forming aggregate with BAD, BCL2 is free, BAX is free, and it can form an aggregate with BAK, and cytochrome C can come out of the cells. Okay, so what we are talking about? We are talking about this family. The whole family of cells is called BCL2 protein family. The whole family is called BCL2 protein family. So don't get confused between those. So okay, so there are different levels of this. For example, if you talk about pro-apoptotic gene, okay, we are talking about pro-apoptotic gene, which is BAX, BAK, BX and BAK. Okay, then we are talking about anti-apoptotic gene, which is, yes, BCL2 protein, and there is one more which is called BCL2XL. Okay, and there is another family of protein which is also pro-apoptotic protein, pro-apoptotic gene or protein. Okay, pro-apoptotic gene से बोलने से अच्छा we can call it pro-apoptotic protein rather than gene, because of course gene will give rise to this protein, but let's call it protein for now. So this is which we talk about BAD, then BID, then BIM, then there is one more which is PUMA, there is one more which is NOXA. Okay, okay, so we have BAX and BAK, BCL2 and BCL2XL, we have BAD, BID, BIM, PUMA, NOXA. We can understand this protein, correct? If you talk about subunits, there is one more point. These are also called BH proteins. Why it is called BH proteins? Because it has different domains of BH proteins. For example, if you talk about pro-apoptotic protein, okay, it has BH1, BH2 and BH3. If we talk about anti-apoptotic protein, it contains these domains. Okay, BH1, BH2, BH3, BH4. If we talk about these pro-apoptotic protein which inhibits BCL2 and BCL2XL, it has only BH3. That's why these proteins, BAD, BID, BIM, PUMA, NOXA, these are called, there are one more I guess one or two more, so we'll write etc. So this set of genes, this set of proteins are called BH3 only proteins. So if someone talks about BH3 only proteins, we are talking about these pro-apoptotic genes which inhibit BCL2 and BCL2XL. Okay, yes, so now we have understood that what is the play of this pro-apoptotic and anti-apoptotic genes, okay, when we talk about intrinsic pathway of apoptosis. But we have not yet discussed what happens when cytochrome C comes out. Okay, so that we will discuss in the next lecture, which will be very short lecture on intrinsic pathway. Thank you.